Am I the asshole for not letting my neighbors camp on my land? I own 16 acres of woodland behind my house. It is very clearly my property as there are signs up stating it is private property. I'm generally good with people walking through it, taking their dog a walk or hiking, or even local kids playing there, as it's a safe place and beautiful, and so long as they don't cause any damage or mess with the trees I see no reason to get upset over this. An issue came up however tonight when I was on a walk and I saw a fire through the trees. I admit I panicked thinking a dog walker had been out and tossed a cigarette, or some local teenagers were setting fires for fun. I rushed out to check on it and try to put out the fire, and found one of my neighbors camping with their girlfriend and friends. It was a group of 5 people in their mid-20s and they had a roaring campfire going. They got startled by me rushing up to them like that and asked me what the fuck I was doing. I asked them the same question back and told them they couldn't camp here and they'd not asked permission to do so. This led to some laughter and protests that they were doing any harm and to lighten up. I told them to put the fucking fire out and get off my land. I didn't want to risk a campfire there as it could easily get out of hand, especially when the group manning it were more than a little drunk. They ended up refusing, stating they weren't going anywhere and were not doing anything wrong, so I went home and called the police to get them off my property. They were made to leave and break up their camp. Am I maybe the asshole for this? They probably thought it was okay as I'm good with letting people use my land in general. I maybe could have handled it better, but I'd gotten a fright seeing the fire and then how they responded. It just really got to me. Dog walking and camping are 2 very different things. They should have asked for permission, and anyone who says, lighten up, when confronted trespassing, deserve to have the police called on them. Their entitlement and attitude is to blame here, not you. Not the asshole. Not the asshole they literally started a fire on your property? This is how bushfires start, drunk people. Is it not illegal to start fires on other people's land? Not the asshole. It's actually a liability issue for you if someone got hurt camping on your land. You're right to put a stop to it. Not the asshole. They should have known they were on private property. A good neighbor would have asked permission to camp. Not the asshole. They trespassed, started a fire, got drunk, and somehow they think you are the problem? They need to grow up. They're lucky you didn't press charges for trespassing. Absolutely not the asshole. If someone decided to randomly set up camp on my land, I'd be telling them to leave also. Can you get it fenced off somehow, to keep people from wandering through? Not the asshole. Your land. Am I the asshole for forcing my husband to wake up and watch the kids on his day off? Hi. First, I'm gonna mention that I'm normally the one who stays with the kids all the time, due to being a stay-at-home mom. DH works full-time, he's a police officer, have been for 5 years now, and covers night shifts. His off days are unpredictable, but I told him I needed to make an appointment with the salon to cut my hair before my sister's wedding and had only 1 week. I told him to let me know when he'll be available to stay with the kids, but he said he doesn't know since he was swapping shifts randomly throughout the week. Yesterday, he came home from a night shift at 11 a.m. and went straight to bed. I had already booked with a salon. I went to get ready, then woke him up to tell him that he needed to wake up and watch the kids while I go to the salon. He refused. I kept waking him up while he kept telling me to go away. I pulled the sheets and he yelled at me to stop. I told him I was getting late for my appointment and he said that this wasn't on him and that he wasn't going to use his day off to stay awake and watch the kids. We had a fight and he ended up calling me inconsiderate and selfish because I had a good night's sleep while he didn't, then expecting him to watch the kids on his day off. I told him those are his kids too and he needed to step up since I do this all the time. I walked out while he kept yelling at me to come back. I returned hours later and he was right there waiting with an angry look on his face. He started arguing with me about how tired and sleep-deprived he was and how selfish and awful I was to leave and force him to wake up and watch the kids on his day off over a stupid haircut. I told him it was not a big deal and he was being negative for no reason when he should be encouraging me to take care of myself. He said that I caught him off guard and ruined his day off completely. Now he can't even walk without feeling dizzy and exhausted because I took away his rest time and acted selfishly. He's been pouting since then. Am I the asshole for leaving him with the kids on his day off? ETA, because I just got back to this thread and saw a couple of questions. 1. Yes, he was 100% aware that I had limited time to pay the salon a visit and even said he'd tell me when he'd be available, but he never did. 2. Yes, he did call my new haircut stupid, and now I feel horrible about it, confounded face. 3. I was gone for like 4 hours and he had the rest of the day to get some sleep but decided to stay awake and pick arguments with me. Not the asshole. He knew this was coming up and he kept swapping his shifts. If he respected you and your time he wouldn't have done that or would have swapped a shift that left him able to watch his own children for an hour or so. Ask him when your day off is supposed to be. You can't work 24/7 forever, you'll burn out. Being a SOM or SAHP is a full-time job. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Your husband sounds controlling and selfish. He helped produce those children, he can be equally responsible for them. Not the asshole, and honestly I would think very hard about whether this is a marriage you want to continue. Not the asshole. It's not called watching the kids, it's called being a dad. I bet your kids know their dad didn't want to be with them that day too. How awful for them. Not the asshole. But he sounds sleep deprived and needs to stop swapping shifts so he has a stable schedule and can be more present for you and his kids. What he does isn't easy, but he's making it harder on himself and his family. I say it all the time in this sub. If he only wants to provide financial support for his kids, he can make child support payments. Not the asshole. A haircut doesn't take all day. You left him parenting his kids for a couple hours. He could have gone to take a nap right after you got back and it would be like nothing happened. Hair appointments depending on the stylist have to be booked in advance. I have a stylist that I have to book like a month or 2 in advance. You have a wedding coming, you want to look nice. A decent husband would want his wife to look and feel good. You gave notice and he didn't. Sucks for him. You're not waking him up every night or taking all his days off. You took a couple hours from his day off because you had something already scheduled and this is how he acts. It sounds to me he's not very appreciative of what you do. Not the asshole. My father was a cop working shifts and he still managed to spend his days off taking care of me and giving my mom a break. He also was brilliant at seeing what needed to be done around the house. Be it washing dishes, taking out garbage, or even sewing buttons back on a little girl's jacket and doing them without asking my mother if she wanted him to do the tasks. My mom was always very verbal about how thoughtful my dad was and raised her daughters to look for partners who had similar traits. Given how unpredictable your husband's schedule is, you probably should have booked a sitter to watch the kids. He should have checked in with you to work around your appointment. You two need to work on your communication and planning. Am I the asshole for telling a friend her baby is not my responsibility? My friend, 18F, has decided to make me, 19F, her godmother and babysitter for her baby once her baby is born. She also wanted me to organize her baby shower. Which I obviously said no for many reasons. Thankfully she accepted no as an answer. I have communicated with her that I don't want to be a babysitter since I have been busy with school and work and don't have much free time for myself. Friend has argued with me that she wants free time as well once she has the baby and I should babysit for her since I don't have to permanently take care of a baby. I asked my friend, why have a baby if you aren't prepared to take care of it? The baby wasn't an accident and she was trying for it. She was upset with my question and told me she didn't have anyone else who supports her in her pregnancy. I told her I am not going to be responsible for her baby since I have my own life and my own problems to worry about. Friend told me how I am a horrible friend and if the roles were reversed she would be thrilled to babysit and I should understand friends help out other friends. Am I the asshole for not being a good friend and taking care of my friend's baby? Edit. I spoke to a mutual friend of ours and was informed that she had considered occasionally babysitting until pregnant friend asked if she could watch the baby Friday and Saturday nights. The father is still in the picture. I'm assuming she needs a babysitter because she wants to go out with him. She cut her immediate family off once she turned 18, and has not spoken to them. Final edit. I did not agree to be the godmother to the child. I am fully aware of the responsibilities of being a godmother and I could not fulfill those duties and responsibilities. She wants me to be the godmother even though I've told her before I do not want to be it. Not the asshole. The only person she has a right to expect support from is the father. You might want to reconsider your friendship if she manipulates you to the point where you have to ask for advice from internet strangers. So the baby doesn't even exist yet, and she's already scheming to dump it on other people. Not the asshole. Just lose her number. Not the asshole. I love that she says if roles were reversed she'd help you out all the while not wanting to take full responsibility for her own baby. Not the asshole. Your friend sounds way too immature to be raising a baby. Gee, I wonder why nobody has been supportive of her having one? Stick to your guns. She is making a mess of her life and, sadly, her child. So sad. Not the asshole. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Not the asshole. She can hire a babysitter if she wants a break. The baby isn't yours or your responsibility, she shouldn't throw it all on you. You never agreed to be the babysitter. What the actual fuck? Open mouth smile. Not the asshole. My friend, 18F, has decided to make me, 19F, her godmother and babysitter, emphasis mine. You don't just decree that someone is a godparent and babysitter. You ask, you discuss. Holy hell, your friend sounds entitled AF. Not the asshole at all. Her baby, her responsibility. Not your problem. Am I the asshole for telling my dad my mother's homework is not my responsibility? Throwaway for obvious reasons. Me, 28F. Mother, her, late 50s, started college in January and it's been hell ever since. English is not her first language and she's been struggling. Every single one of us minus my father have been helping her with her homework and assignments, doing it for her, and we're exhausted. She forgets how to use a computer when someone is there with her, but she uses one at work all the time. She'll ask us how to submit homework despite having submitted something a couple days prior, and she refuses to ask the professor questions if we don't do it for her. So I decided to go out this weekend and celebrate some friends' birthdays. I packed a weekend bag and made my way to my car when my dad asked me where I was going. I said, I'm going out, and he says, who's going to help your mother with her homework? I said, you guys are, meaning he and my brother, and that was not good enough for him. Despite the fact that I already correct and help her submit all of her homework, have a job and play the role of mom, professor, I have to stay home to answer all of her questions and help her find articles and do research. I'm at my wit's end and said, I already do everything. You don't even help her. You stand next to her and tell her to do the wrong thing. You don't even know how to do citations and you went to university. Am I supposed to stay home and do her homework for her? I'm not responsible for her homework. Side note. One thing about my dad is that he loves to dismiss people and their feelings. When I was younger and struggling with school or literally anything, his response would be, you think you're the only person who struggled. I underscore and I dealt with it. So I just learned to do a lot things on my own. Like asking for help stresses me out. Yes, I am in therapy for that. He called me mean and aggressive and my mother stayed quiet. I later found out that she texted my sister and she tried chewing me out before I told her exactly what happened. A part of me feels bad because that's my mom, but another part of me is making me realize that I'm back at school and stressed out. I literally do everything plus my own job. I barely get any financial or emotional support from them. Edit. She does her work and I look over it, but it's almost never correct, so it has to be redone. Edit 2. She's already in her field and is just going back to get a promotion, which is fair. There are no exams or tests, just assignments and group work, and it's all online. I live at home because I live in Toronto and don't have $1 Malel to buy a house like many others who live in this city and get no support from their parents. Not the asshole. If she's able to hold down a job and use a computer at work, she can manage her homework. If she's struggling with language, she needs to reach out to her college. It sounds like she's so anxious about failure that she's fallen into the trap of weaponized incompetence. Don't get sucked in. Not the asshole. You shouldn't be doing her homework in the first place because it's not your responsibility and it's enabling her to do nothing for herself. There's a huge difference between helping with the language or computer struggles and doing it yourself. The degree means nothing if she doesn't learn anything. It's obvious they feel entitled to your time and have become reliant on you doing the work. And your dad is an ass. Take the time for yourself and really consider why you are helping your mother, and if you want, should be doing so. Looks like your mom needs therapy to help her fear of homework or whatever is going on inside her. Not the asshole. If she gets whatever degree and gets the job for it, you can't show up to her job and do the work for her. I mean, at this point you'd have to split her checks too. Maybe bring that up with your parents. If she gets the degree and the job, you get a cut from her pay. Don't do any more homework. Not the asshole. Stop cheating for her. That is highly against college rules and will swiftly get her kicked out. You could also face punishment if you are caught. It doesn't seem any of them are grateful for your help. I think translating the problems for her is fine, but don't do them for her anymore. Not the asshole. Why is she in school if she isn't capable of doing the work for herself? I hope she isn't going for a degree that is going to put her in charge of people's direct care if she can't be bothered to do the work for herself. Not the asshole. I am currently in college and it's a struggle, but I couldn't imagine even making one of my siblings or parents do my work for me. It's stressful and I am so sorry you have to put up with that. You didn't sign up for those classes, she did. I would see about trying to move out soon op. That's just really toxic with your dad. Best of luck. Everyone sucks here. It is highly unethical for you to complete someone else's assessed work. Everyone else here also sucks because they're trying to get you to lie and cheat for her. She is clearly only pretending not to know how to do things by the way. Maybe it's because she knows that you do the work better than she does. Either way, you absolutely should not be enabling this. Not the asshole. It was her decision to go to school. She needs to communicate with her professor and figure this out on her own. It's not your or anyone else's responsibility to do the work for her.